No, I think Lamont Roach is a terrific fighter. He might be a little over his head with Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis is, and making sure that he's in optimal conditions when he steps inside that squared circle. It's going to be a tough night for Roach, but you can never count him out.
Oscar De La Hoya has warned Lamont Roach ahead of his fight with Gervonta Davis, urging him to prepare for a fierce challenge against the knockout artist. Teofimo Lopez brushed off Tank Davis's resume, saying he'd handle him easily. He was pretty confident, claiming he could beat any top fighter. He also mentioned that if Tank's resume doesn't improve, he'll lose his status as the best.
So you think you dominate Tank?
I think I dominate any of them. If you really look at it, if you gotta really tap in on this, look at the resume, all that extra, whatever. There's a certain limit that you hit, right? But then there's that next criteria or that next top tier. And if you don't match that, you never gonna know how great you really are. And I've done that a few amount of times already. I jumped out that box and done that.
Conor Benn slammed Gervonta Davis for picking Lamont Roach Jr. over him, even calling out Tank for talking about retiring in 2025. Ben said he offered Tank $15 million for a fight, but Tank went with Roach, who's not really a big name in boxing.
I don't know Lamont Roach, but when you're looking at Shakur Stevenson, when you're looking at these other fighters that he should really be fighting, he don't want to do them fights. He wants to retire.
Yeah.
So don't come but don't come at me. Yeah. And go, oh yeah, let's give it all, very big bollocks, and go, oh yeah, let's give him some stick, and then make out like we want the fight, and then we send an offer over, and then you fight for 15 million, and yet you fight Lamont Roach.
Stephen A. Smith weighed in on the Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach fight, saying Roach is too small for Tank. He made it clear he wasn't questioning the skill of either fighter, but pointed out that Tank's former opponent, Frank Martin, was also a smaller guy moving up in weight.
What do you think of his fight with Roach? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I think Roach is too small. I think Roach is too small. And that's my issue. I'm not questioning the skill set or anything like that, but it was similar to Frank Martin. This guy comes in there and you got 18 fights. And I remember watching that pre-fight press conference when he was annoying Gervonta Davis so much, and he cussed by accident. Excuse me. He cussed by accident. He was like, ooh, making this up. He hurt me in sparring and,
Smith said Tank Davis shouldn't waste his energy on a smaller guy like Roach. He suggested Tank should be aiming for bigger names like Teofimo Lopez. Smith said it bothers him that Tank seems unmotivated now, going after opponents who won't really challenge him.
But if you're the bigger guy and you're clearly the power guy, that just leaves somebody at a distinct disadvantage, and I think that's unfair. And so that's how I look at it, and that's what bothers me about Gervonta fighting this guy. This Teofimo Lopez at 140. Fight that brother. Fight somebody your size or bigger who is one of the top-ranked fighters, if not a champion, in one of those weight classes, naturally so. You don't need to be fighting somebody smaller than you, because no matter how skilled this kid is, I get it. I totally understand it. All anybody's expecting him is for him to show his boxing skills.
Boxing trainer Greg Hackett dismissed the idea that Tank Davis is cherry-picking Lamont Roach, saying both have faced similar opponents like Hector Garcia, putting them on the same level. While acknowledging the fight may not have the same hype as ones with Ryan Garcia or Devin Haney, Hackett stressed that it's still a legit and interesting matchup worth watching.
Yo, this would be a rematch from the amateurs. I don't know how many times they fought. Right. But dudes are saying like, oh, he bringing up another fighter. While I understand, right. It's like they talking like Tank ain't start his career off at 26. He ain't no huge 35.
And let's be real, they both fought Hector Garcia. So the reason I brought that up is because the level of boxing. Tank only fought him like what, a year and a half ago, 2 years? He fought Hector Garcia. Yeah. So then you got
Lamont fought him right after Tank.
So that's what I'm saying. So that is the same level of boxing.
Ben further slammed Tank Davis for rejecting the fight offer and said that Gervonta doesn't know how to do business because there was room for more negotiation. Conor was furious at the way Tank ignored his offer and accepted a low-level fighter in return.
Don't do that. Do you know what I mean?
It was a real offer. That was true then.
It was a real offer. We offered. I said, listen, you keep talking shit. My promoter's going to get back to you in 48 hours. 50 minutes. Initial offer sent over. But was it Unquell didn't let him out to play? His boss didn't let him out. That's it. So he wants to talk about 50 million. First offer. First offer.
There was room to negotiate.
Of course there was. But he's an idiot. I don't even know if he knows what negotiating means.
Oscar De La Hoya said Lamont Roach is a great fighter, but maybe out of his depth against Gervonta Davis. He used his promo skills to hype up Tank, calling him a beast and saying he's fully dedicated to the sport.
No, I think Lamont Roach is a terrific fighter. He might be a little over his head with Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis is, I mean, to say the least, he's a beast. He really is. He's a tremendous fighter. He's a dedicated fighter when it comes to training and fighting and making sure that he's in optimal conditions when he steps inside that squared circle. It's going to be a tough night for Roach, but you can never count him out.
De La Hoya added that Tank's style is sneaky, landing solid shots and combos without the opponent realizing. He's confident Tank has the Lamont Roach fight in the bag, having seen his training firsthand. Oscar said Tank has the skills and knowledge to win.
Watching him fight up close and personal, he's sneaky good, which means he can catch you at any time. He can land combinations, sometimes at will. Without you even knowing it, you know, he's that sneaky. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting. But you know, obviously Gervonta Davis has the experience, he has the knowledge, he has that mean streak in him that will take you out with any punch.
The rivalry between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. escalated on December 5th during a heated press conference in Washington, D.C. The two fighters exchanged fiery words ahead of their highly anticipated March 1st showdown at Barclays Center. Tank Davis fueled the rivalry between Baltimore and D.C., acknowledging Roach as a tough, respected fighter. He promised a thrilling showdown on March 1st, declaring that Roach will face a more dangerous version of him in the ring, setting the stage for an exciting high stakes.
That's involved. I don't want to leave nobody out, you know, everybody, even the police, like everybody, you know, just, you know, but again, you know, I'm from the city, you know what I mean, I'm from the city, I'm from Baltimore, he from DC, so it's the Lord, you know. And when I was in, I don't want to get on that, but when I was in, like, incarcerated, never mind, but it is what it is, but DC versus Baltimore come March the 1st.
The atmosphere got more personal when Davis directed his focus to Roach's family, suggesting that Roach Sr. might want to stay out of it as they wouldn't be able to stop him. He also pointed out Roach Sr.'s nervousness, commenting on his shaking hands on stage. Davis's remarks sparked laughter from his camp, further intensifying the rivalry.
My whole family, like my entire family, don't bring them. Don't bring them. For what? Don't bring them. They gonna celebrate with me. Yeah, bring them. It's gonna be a party. I'm gonna let y'all know something. His father was up here shaking on the wristband. He was shaking on the pop. Oh.
In response to Gervonta Davis's mocking comment about him shaking during the press conference, Lamont Roach Sr. dismissed the idea of nervousness. He explained that his behavior was due to excitement and anticipation for the fight. Confident in their preparation, he stressed that they had been in the game for a long time, were more than ready, and would keep training hard for March 1st.
Oh, he said I was shaking?
Or I don't know, he said someone was shaking.
I thought he would say, okay.
Okay,
nah,
I mean...
You know what I'm saying? I ain't nervous, man. Pressure bust pipe, and there's no nervousness over here, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, we've been doing this too long, man. I'm saying? We excited. You know what I'm saying? If anything, you know what I'm saying? We've been waiting for this. We more than ready, and we're going to continue to train hard and be ready for March 1st.
Lamont Roach Jr., stepping up and wait for the fight, kept his composure and avoided personal comments. He focused on emphasizing his preparation and the improvements he's made since their amateur days. Calmly, he pointed out that Davis's team knew his abilities and expressed confidence that by March 1st, he would be ready to perform at his best.
Shit, I mean, everybody won the first round knockout, but shit, I'm trying to knock anybody out. I don't care if it was him, if it was anybody else. I'm trying to knock everybody out.
Roach Sr. emphasized his respect for Davis's accomplishments, recognizing both Davis and his son, Lamont Roach Jr.'s achievements. He made it clear that his goal in boxing has always been to guide and inspire young athletes, celebrating their successes while focusing on his son's upcoming challenge.
I think these kids grow up, man. I'm a fan, you know what I'm saying? If I can't, I'll be hypocritical if I'm talking about youth when I give it my whole reason, this mission to save lives through the sport of boxing and kids succeed, man, you know what I'm saying? So I'm proud moment. I'm proud of his accomplishments as well as my son. You know, so more so my son because he's my son. But I'm happy for them guys over there.
Gervonta Davis acknowledged the struggles of a long boxing career, noting that the body eventually wears down and burnout is real. However, he singled out his upcoming bout with Lamont Roach as the one that could reignite his passion. Davis expressed confidence that this fight would light the fire within him again.
You know how when they told, you said how, like, I pulled the fort Lomachenko, right? And, like how he said, like, he retired and things like that. I feel as though, like, we've been in this so long that we are getting tired of it. Like, we've been beating our body up so long. But it be like situations like this now, like where he talking, that spark the plug again.
Yeah, that's what
Lamont Roach responded to Gervonta Davis's comments by saying he didn't want to fight Tank if Davis wasn't fully motivated or at his best. Roach emphasized he wanted to face the best version of Davis to prove himself and make a name in the sport. He made it clear that Davis shouldn't exit the ring without a fight, stressing his desire for a competitive, challenging match.
Always go like this. Always go like this.
No, what I'm saying, you just said you feel like you're going out.
And they go to sleep.
I don't want you to feel like you're going out. I don't want that to be an excuse. You know our team name, no excuse. I don't want it to be like, oh, that was my last fight and shit like that. I don't want that. That's going to stain my legacy. You hear me?
Lamont, is this what you want? Is this the Tank you want to face?
Of course, I want to face the best Tank, dude.
Lamont Roach pointed out that Gervonta Davis had fought opponents who, in his opinion, struggled to handle powerful punches. In response, Davis stayed calm, suggesting he'd test Roach's resilience in their upcoming fight. Roach acknowledged the challenge, stressing that the real purpose of their bout was to show who could endure the toughest moments in the ring and come out on top.
Roach said earlier today that, you know, he feels like the guys that you've knocked out recently don't have a chin. What's your response to that?
We gotta test his chin out. Come watch the first.
We ain't on that. Motherfuckers don't hit me in
What's
there.
your reaction to that, Lamont? You said, you know, you feel like guys...
That's what we gonna be in there for.
Gervonta Davis made another sharp remark, suggesting Lamont Roach should keep his kids away from the fight, implying it would be a brutal contest. In contrast, Roach expressed confidence, saying his son would be right by his side at ringside, unaffected by Davis's predictions.
Anything he gonna try to test, I'm gonna try to test.
You seen my post, right?
You said, which one?
Well, I told you to leave the kids home.
My son gonna be front and center. Fuck you talking about? He'll be front and center.
Leave the kids
Why
home.
wouldn't he want to see his father
What's up,
become
little bro?
two-time world champ?
During the press conference, a reporter reminded Gervonta Davis that he owed him money from a previous bet, where the reporter had correctly predicted the outcome of Davis's last fight. This time, the reporter placed another bet, predicting a knockout in the 9th round against Lamont Roach. Davis, staying confident, reaffirmed that he would deliver a knockout in that round.
What's up, bro? You won me a lot of money.
For real?
Remember? Saw you at CVS.
Yeah, fire.
Saw you at CVS. You told me 8th round, put a stack on it on DraftKings. Most money I've ever won on a bet before.
Real?
Yes, bro.
Damn, that's
And did
crazy.
you hear Joe Budden brought it up on his podcast?
For real?
He said some guy on the internet, didn't say my name, but he said some guy on the internet ran into Tank at CVS the night before the fight. And Tank told him 8th round, and he ends up knocking him out in the 8th round.
Paulie Malignaggi shared his take on the fight, saying Lamont Roach might not be elite, but is still better than a weight-drained Ryan Garcia. He also pointed out that the fight doesn't deserve pay-per-view status, mainly because Roach isn't well known enough to attract a big audience.
An opportunity? I'm not sure. You know, Roach has been a solid fighter throughout his career, but I'm not sure that he's been of the level yet, or at least notoriety-wise, to be in a fight like this. But then again, you know, is he more impressive than Garcia, who Gervonta brought up in weight and had the same championship title a couple of years ago and fought him in a pay-per-view headliner? Yeah, I think Roach is a step up from that kind of opposition.
Chris Algieri also weighed in, saying the fight shouldn't be pay-per-view. He argued it'd be better for free TV since Lamont Roach isn't on Gervonta Davis's level. Algieri mentioned the fight lacks the star power needed to justify a pay-per-view event.
I mean, you're getting eyes on you fighting one of the best fighters in the world today. One of the most popular fighters for sure is Gervonta Davis. It's also an all DC area clash, and I think that's going to bring a lot of eyes from that area. But in terms of
which is weird, right? Because it's in Houston. It's an all DC fight, but it's in Houston.
Exactly. I agree with you, Champ, that making this a pay-per-view doesn't sound very smart.
Bozy Ennis thinks the fight between Lamont Roach and Tank Davis is solid, but he sees Davis winning. While he respects Roach's skills, like his defense and technique, Ennis believes Davis has the edge with his power and ability to dominate. Ennis's take reflects Tank's knockout reputation, with most expecting him to be too much for Roach.
What, Lamont
and Tank?
I think that's be a good fight, man. I think it'd be a good fight, man. Him and Tank. I think it'd be a real good fight, man. You know what I mean? I think I would have to go with Tank, though. I would have to go with Tank.
Despite her past issues with Tank Davis, Claressa Shields said a fight between him and Lamont Roach is a solid matchup. She noted that people are overlooking Roach, but highlighted his strong amateur background. Shields also added she'd be willing to buy any of Tank's pay-per-view fights in the future.
Tank and Lamont Roach, is that the right opponent for Tank?
I don't know why everybody is kind of sleeping on Lamont, but he has a decorated amateur career too. He's a very sturdy kid. He's very skilled. Tank is Tank, you know. And when I say Tank is Tank, I mean like he's a bad man. He can fight. He's tough. I know we had our dispute back and forth, whatever. But at the end of the day, we talk about just boxing. So he's a good fighter, and I look forward to watching that fight.
Is this a pay-per-view fight though? Would you buy it?
I bought any fight that Tank has had pay-per-view.
Pro boxer Mickey Bay believes Lamont Roach is no cherry pick for Tank Davis, calling him a young, hungry champion who could be a real challenge. Bay highlighted Roach's drive and determination, making him a legitimate threat, but also expects Tank to step up and give fans an exciting performance.
You know what? Tank is Tank do his thing, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like, he closed the show and he get the people what they want. You can't say it's a cherry pick because dude is a young, hungry champion, and it makes sense. They from like the DMV area.
They arguably the same size.
Exactly. So it ain't a cherry pick. We wanted to see him with another fighter, but at the same time, this one you could say, all right, I'll take that.
Devin Haney laughed when he heard Tank Davis would be fighting Lamont Roach. As a fighter many fans want to see Tank face, Haney's reaction shows the growing buzz for a possible matchup between the two. Fans have been hoping for this fight, expecting more excitement and a real challenge for both. Coach Larry Wade sees a potential fight between Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson as a huge opportunity. He's confident Tank would win, citing his skills and knockout power. Wade believes Tank's offensive game is too much for Stevenson, who's known for his defense, and thinks Stevenson wouldn't be able to handle Tank's attack.
You know, I hate to say it won't happen. I feel like that's too big of a fight for it not to happen. I think the length of the time of when that fight happens helps determine the outcome of that fight. If I had to pick someone today, but of course I would pick Gervonta Davis, and the main reason because he has everything there is, including experience. Shakur Stevenson is extremely talented as well and very gifted. It's not going to be an easy fight for either guy, but if I had to pick one guy today, it'd be Gervonta Davis.
Jarrett Hurd is confident in Tank Davis's punching power, especially in the 135-pound division. Hurd believes Davis's knockout ability makes him a dangerous opponent for anyone in the lightweight class, including top fighters like Lomachenko and Stevenson. While he respects Stevenson's defense, Hurd thinks Tank's power could break through even the best defenses. For many, Davis's knockout power is considered a major advantage in any potential matchup, particularly against Stevenson.
Can anybody take that power at 135, in your opinion?
Hell no. Hell no, man. If you look back on PBC, where everybody's hitting that punch machine, Deontay Wilder, Eddie Reed, all them. Tank got the highest rate for a reason. Your man got bricks.
Shekel Daly agrees that Davis's power is a major factor, saying Tank only needs one punch to end a fight with Shakur Stevenson. While recognizing Stevenson's skill and defense, Daly believes Tank's power will land eventually, likely in the later rounds. He predicts that as the fight goes on, Davis' constant pressure and knockout threat will wear Stevenson down, making it harder for him to avoid damage.
So if he faces Shakur Stevenson, how you see that going?
So I feel as though he get Shakur in the later rounds. If he gets Shakur in the later rounds, I'm about to say Tank really has like that one type of power. Like all he really needs is one punch. Shakur, he gets hit, but he don't get hit a lot. So it'll be like a back and forth type fight.
Rayo Valenzuela recently called out Gervonta "Tank" Davis, criticizing him for being picky about fighting at 140 or 135 pounds. Valenzuela suggested Tank would be open to a fight at 140 if the money and situation were right. He pointed out that fighters like Davis are driven by factors that make sense financially and strategically, implying Tank's choices are based on what benefits him the most.
The fans want it. What do you think about that? You know, the fact that Tank, who's fought at 140 before, seems a little bit selective about when he fights at 140 or when he fights at 135. Like, do you think he would fight you at 140? And if not, why? I think he would. You know, he's a fighter. I think it all just has to make sense, you know, so as long as it makes sense.
Chris Algieri praised Lamont Roach's performance in his last fight, pointing out his sharpness and flawless technique. Roach took control early, landing clean left hooks that hurt McClay several times. Despite McClay's toughness, Roach's ability to adjust and stick to his strategy made a strong statement in the 130-pound division.
Lamont Roach, 7th round stoppage to, Padraig McCrory? I hope I said that right.
Fergal.
Oh, Fergal McCrory. Padraig is the one that fought Berlanga. What was your thoughts on the performance?
I thought he looked really sharp. I mean, there's no holes in his game. You know, he came out looking super sharp with the left hook, was able to hurt McCrory multiple times in the first couple rounds. McCrory battled back though, man. He's an Irish warrior. He came in here fully prepared, in great shape. He looked big, he looked strong. But there's just different levels, and Roach just...
Jarrett Hurd praised Lamont Roach for his tactical approach against Fergal McCrory, especially in the 7th round, where he mixed up his punches and attacked the body with precision. Hurd also highlighted the added pressure of defending a title at home, emphasizing the mental focus needed to block out distractions and stay focused.
What's up, man?
How's it? Your man Lamont Roach, what was that, 7th round? TKO?
Hey, he looked good, man. Look, his first title defense, he killed that shit at home, too.
Yo, did you expect the fight in the trenches? Like, I thought he was going to outbox him on the outside.
To be honest, I never seen too much of the guy he fought, so I really, all right, nigga, man. So I really don't know how he was going to come out, but he took his time, man. He changed the level of the speed of his punches. He was touching, going to the body. Picked up when he saw his guy hurt, man. He did an outstanding performance.
How hard is it for your first time?
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. See you in the next one.